Hi everyone, Scott Cramer here. I am the Losi brand manager at Horizon Hobby, and I'm joined with Dustin Bisher. He is one of the top dogs on the Spectrum team. He's got a very long title, so I'm not going to try and screw that one up. So we'll just call him one of the Spectrum head guru guys. How about that? That'll work?
Thanks.
All right, so you guys saw the first two videos that I did where we talked about what we did with the Losi TENACITY SCT, turning it into a racer, so to speak. The second video, I talked about exactly what I did, got it ready to race, and kind of had to change the plan at the last minute, because the more I thought about it is, okay, I'm an experienced racer. If I take this out there and race with it and do really well with it, what does that really say? You know, I can drive, so maybe I could make it look good if it was bad. So we went one step further and we thought, you know what? Let's get kind of a rookie, so to speak.
I would say rookie. I was nervous going into the building.
Definitely.
There's a lot of big names there.
Now, you may wonder, how does a Spectrum guy become a rookie? Well, he is a very, very experienced pilot. So a lot different than racing, because air, you've got the entire sky. Racetrack, you've got tubes, you've got other competitors all the way around the track. And so it was kind of a nice little learning curve. He has driven before, obviously.
Yeah, I've driven a few times.
On a really loose outdoor track, so this was a completely new experience. So what we did is we got to the track, we got there real early, got this set up, and I was blown away by how good it really was. And I almost wanted to race it, you know, instead of letting him run it, because it was that much fun right out of the box. So, but what we decided to do is he went up there, he ran in the sportsman class, which is perfect for any of you beginners out there. It's kind of a run what you brung class, so there's a lot of other four-wheel short courses. Mm-hmm. There were some two-wheel buggies.
Two-wheel buggies I saw, maybe there was a two-wheel drive short course.
Yeah, it was pretty good, but I think there were about 10 guys in the class on Saturday, so pretty good turnout. Again, it was at the Leisure Hours Raceway in Joliet, Illinois. It was their pizza night.
Yep.
So they had free pizza all night and everything. But it was really cool. So again, the only thing that we changed from the last video that we talked about is I added sway bars. So that was the one thing that we didn't do in the other one, but with the high bite, we thought it might be best to throw the sway bars on there. So other than that, like I said, we rebuilt the shocks with shock oil, put the aluminum shock caps on, rebuilt all three diffs. Again, I'll put the setup sheet at the end of the video so you know exactly what we put in here. And then we ran the Dynamite 50C HV pack, which worked out good.
Yep.
Worked out real good. We had EC5 connectors on there because it just worked out easier. And then how about the radio? What did you use for that?
For the radio, I used the DX5R, as you can see here. That worked out real well. It was very simple to program. I just showed up and Scott threw the truck at me and said, "Here you go, figure it out." No, I'm just kidding. But no, just bound it up, set the steering direction, set the endpoints on the ESC. That was it. I worked with Expo on the steering and the throttle during my practice sessions, and that was pretty much it. Just the car handled great. The tune that the guys put into it made it real easy for me to just come out and you know, I was nervous walking into the building. There was a lot of cars, in the parking lot, and you know, you walk into an event like that, and there's a lot of experience there, and I knew nothing about it. I was, you know, a little intimidated. I was asking the guys, "Hey, when can I go out and practice?" And had to, you know, they told me when to get in line, and you know, when to go marshal. So all in all, it was a lot of fun, and you know, I'm so excited now. I have a 22 4.0 on order, so I hope to get that built this week and go to one of the local clubs here just outside of Champaign. So I'm hooked.
Good.
I can't wait to learn more. So
See, we need to get more airplane guys hooked on it, because it is more fun. Well, we think it is, but sorry about that. All right, so let's get to the nitty-gritty. So in practice, like we talked about in the second video, we ran the stock body, which I actually cut out, as you can see, the fans that were on there just to let some air flow through there. And then we ran the TLR high-flow body as well. Which one did you like better, or could you actually feel a difference?
So I swapped them out probably going into my third practice round.
Okay.
And so as the night went on, I was getting just more and more comfortable with the vehicles. So I ended up going back to the stock body, and that was probably just preference because I had more time on it going into the real races. But I did note that the fluorescent yellow was easy to see, if you can't see that. But, you know, I would like to spend some more time and learn what the airflow patterns are like. You know, the front is cut out, the back is cut out more than on the white one. But like I said, I went back to the white one just because I think I had more time on it. You know, I had 2 runs instead of 1 run versus the yellow. So, you know, I could feel a bit of a difference when they were flying through the air. You know, one might get a little more air under it and pitch up if you stayed on the throttle a little long on one of the front kickers. But you know, all in all, I would probably, when I build my next car, it's going to be a bright color like this, no doubt about it. But the white is also very visible too. So a lot of fun. I mean, that's just a great part of this aspect of the hobby, that you can experiment with different designs and different airflow patterns and really try to, you know, tune for your own experience. That's what I learned out of it. I mean, if I had more time, you know, could we have played around with more shock adjustments and spring rates and shock weights? I'm sure we could have done all that, but you know, for essentially out of the box, it was a lot of fun. And I can't say, you know, you were watching the race, I was driving it, but you know, was this way faster or slower than some other vehicles on the track? I know when I was essentially coming down the front straight, I would drag race a couple guys, and it's not like this was way faster, which allowed me to, you know, I did TQ. I'm not going to toot my own horn too much.
Yes, he did. Top qualifier.
But I mean, it was a fast truck for the competition, but I don't think it was, you know, blowing anyone away. So it really, to me, came down to consistency. I know these guys have beaten to my head, you know, that slow is fast. So I really made it a point to just hit my lines. You know, I walked the track, you know, when I was out there marshaling. So I looked at where the elevation changes were and just wanted to make sure I hit certain points. And if there was, you know, lap traffic or somebody that wanted to pass me, just let them go, or I'll get them. I'll get them when they wreck. So.
Definitely. And that's the other thing too that we mentioned in the second video is we actually turned the ESC down and the speed down a little bit. Yes. So believe it or not, the truck is actually even quicker than it was Saturday night. So if we needed a little bit more, or if I was going to run it in the 4x4 short course class, I would definitely, you know, turn the ESC back up again to get the full potential out of the motor in the ESC. But we just wanted to calm it down for you.
You pulled a quick one on me.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. But that's what's so awesome about this hobby, about, you know, the Dynamite electronics and everything, is that you can adjust it to what works for you. The stock radio that comes with this is the DX2E Active, which has a 3-position switch on there. So for you guys, you know, who maybe it's a dad and a son wanting to race, and the dads can drive it at full speed, and the son can't. He could just turn it to position 2 or position 1 and slow it down and make it easier to drive.
So did you have it on position 1 effectively for me?
We had it on position 0.5 for you. No, actually, we just basically adjusted the punch in the ESC, and like I said, the Dynamite program card is what we use to do that. Super nice and easy. And then, so you mentioned you TQ'd. For those of you that don't know, that means that he was actually the top qualifier out of the guys. He did that in the first round and repeated it in the second round. I think you actually went faster in your second round. Now, like you say, we got to stand on the sidelines and root you on and cheer you on and everything, and watch that. But check out some of this video real quick that I took of him while he was driving.
Minutes, 20 seconds to go without the point. After the double, your leader comes down the stairs. Number 2 comes down the stairs. There we go.
got proof positive that he was actually there driving the car and racing the car. But it was neat because when you've raced so long, sometimes you take for granted that you get nerves, or you get jittery sometimes in the main, because qualifying you want to do good, but it's not the end of the world. Where the main, it's like that's where all the money's on the line there. But it was kind of neat because Dustin looked a little nervous at the start, and some of the other drivers were nervous, and there was kind of a little melee, and Dustin actually fell all the way to the back of the pack. So
wasn't that bad?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. The unfortunate part was he crashed where Marshall wasn't at, so the Marshall had to kind of run to get him, and by that point, the rest of the field went by. But it was neat because Nick and I looked at each other and says, well, now we get to see what he's made of and see how good the truck actually is. And he did exactly what he said. He was patient. He took his time to get around some of the back markers, and then that's the hard part too. Is you want to go as hard as you can, but you got to force yourself not to. But all in all, from the car side of it, we're pretty proud of the fact that our Spectrum Air guy, won the race. We were pretty jacked about that, and the fact that, like we told you guys from the beginning, even though this is an RTR, it's a phenomenal truck right out of the box. We did very minimal things to this, like the shock oils and the diff oils. Honestly, you can do for under $8. That's all that costs to do that. It's just a matter of unbolting, rebuilding it, doing that kind of stuff. We did the servo, we changed the ESC. Some of that stuff you really don't need to do. It was great because after my main that I ran, I was on the track marshalling, and one of your competitors was asking me all these questions about the truck because he tried to run it down and couldn't catch you and couldn't pass you. So he actually said he was going to run out and purchase one of these. He was so blown away by how good it was right out of the box. So, and the thing to remember, like we've been saying, is that this is based on the TLR 10 platform, or the Losi 10 platform. So a lot of the TLR, the Team Losi Racing hop-up parts, bolt right on here. Mm-hmm. So, we could go to full-blown aluminum threaded bodied shocks on here. We could go with the carbon fiber shock towers. So it's endless what we can add to this truck to make it like a full-blown race truck, but I think you could admit that we don't need to do it. It's pretty good out of the box.
It's great. Yeah.
So, and I'm kind of excited because now when he gets his 22 4.0 TLR, that means that this leaves this open. So we may have to run this in the 4x4 class and show these guys what it's all about.
That, or we could invite another air guy.
I think that's what I think we should do.
Yeah.
We need to get more of these air guys to our side of the street.
Maybe we can get James Haley or Steve
Petrato. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Steve. We'll see if the Steve can drive the car or the truck kind of thing. These are big FPV quad guys, so it'd be interesting to see how they handle our realm, our world. But other than that, again, thanks for watching this video series. If you have any questions about the Tenacity, the SCT, any of the parts that we used, just drop us a note, drop us a comment. I'll put the full list of all the parts, again, that we used, link to the setup sheet, and I think that's about it.
Excellent.
So, Saturday night, leisure hours, do it again. All right, until then, guys, we'll see you later.